I remember when I first got started in this entire industry, I never made anywhere near $600 a month in my first company. So to see guys like this smash $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month in just a couple months could only kind of showcase the vision of where this is going to be within the next year and within the next 2 years. So I'm super excited. We're going to be talking a lot about this marketing training call about how to tackle October 1st. October 1st, guys, is when I've decided to go all in this entire business. I've decided to sacrifice the next 90 days starting October 1st to go all in more than I ever have in my entire career. And I have such a massive plan of action. And I kind of want to showcase to you guys my plan of action and kind of help you if you're even a Platinum 150, Plat 600, Platinum 1000 to get to the next level. So I'll help every single one of you guys get to the next level because that's essentially my goal. In network marketing, that's the beauty behind it. We want every single person to get to the next level. We want every single person to be able to go out there and benefit. We want every single person to go out there and rank up and make money, because the only way in this industry, if you're going to go out there and get what it is that you want, you need to help other people get what it is they want. All right. That is a quote by Zig Ziglar, one of the greatest in the entire world. So let's kind of talk a little bit about today about the plan of action. So real quick, guys, I need you starting October 1st, every single person here, if you check the chat box or if you check the Life by Design group, and if you're not in the Life by Design group, I put the quantum leap. Let's first talk a little bit about the manifestation technique of quantum leaping. All right. Quantum physics talks a lot about that there's endless possibilities in this entire world. Now, I don't want to get too in-depth, too spiritual with you, but guys, understand that 90% of your success will exist in the spiritual realm before it is ever brought into reality. Okay, 90% of what it is that you're looking for exists in the spiritual realm before it is ever brought into reality. This is the visions, the goals, the dreams, the aspirations, the words that you're telling yourself, the affirmations, right? What it is that you're thinking, feeling all throughout the day. Right. I know that who is it? Mr. David Omanitier, right? Chairman 500. He always talks about being completely obsessed, right? Grant Cardone, being obsessed or be average. Gary Vee, being obsessed. And the reason we talk about obsession is not just because obsession is a bad thing, but they have this immediate desire in order to obtain whatever it is that you want, with the ability and almost expressing in their emotions and their thoughts, the anticipation of that desire. I'm always living in a constant anticipation of the desire that I seek every single day, right? And that's what I want you guys to kind of go into. All right, quantum leaping. And let's talk about quantum leaping. You guys understand that your thoughts and your consciousness, right, and your desires affect the world around you. Like it's 100%. I don't care what you say. It's 100% proven facts, laws. It is physics. It is science. Science has proven it. The Bible talks about it, that your thoughts, your consciousness affects the world around you, okay? And what quantum leaping is essentially the same thing like manifesting, okay? Manifestation is a known thing. The Bible, ancient texts, Buddhism, right? Biblical texts talk about thousands of years ago about manifestation, how basically the law of attraction is a real thing. Okay, so if you guys look at the video that I put in this chat right here, it talks about quantum leaping. And it's going to sound super fucking crazy to the average person that is on this call. But think of it like this real quick. Quantum leaping is talking about leaping from one reality into another reality. One dimension into another dimension. Now, I'm getting a little bit deep here, like kind of talking about like the matrix, but I always talk about wealth, okay? I'm going to teach you guys how to become super wealthy. My mentor told me this, and when he told me this, it blew my mind away and it shifted the way that I looked at money. My mentor told me, John, the idea of what is your idea of wealth? And I'm like, well, it's super hard to make money. He's like, that's why you will always stay poor. He said, John, shift your way of thinking money. Okay, think of it like this real quick, guys. It's easy to make money and it's hard to make money. Both of those realities exist. It's whatever belief system that you choose will be based on the reality that you live in. Okay, so I could believe that it's super hard that it's to make money, and for the rest of my life, I will be chasing money, and money will always be super difficult for me to obtain. And people inherit these thoughts, beliefs, and these systems and ideologies, not from themselves, but and habits, but from their friends, their family, and their community, okay? Now let's talk about the other aspect of success, right? It's easy to make money. This is why wealthy people usually breed wealthy people, and it's because why? the ideologies, the idea of money, the thoughts of money, and also the habits of making wealth stays within the family. Because when you're raised by your parents' thoughts, belief systems, and their reality and their ideology on money. So it's crazy because both realities exist for you. You can believe it's easy to make money and you can believe it's hard to make money. Whichever reality that you choose is the dimension you're going to live in. So because of that, think of it like this real quick. Because that exists, quantum leaping allows you to go from one world or one reality and one belief system into another belief system. If you can choose one belief system and get from that belief system into another belief system, you are now a different person. You are now living in a different world and a different reality. You are no longer playing to the rules of that dimension and the reality that you have created. It's some very, very deep shit. Okay, so that video is a 12-minute video that kind of talks about it, but I'm not going to go over it too much because if I would, I'd be here for hours kind of talking about this one subject. But I'm going to talk to you guys about the technical aspect. But I needed to mention the spiritual aspect of success, and the reason I needed to mention it was for the sole fact that, like I said, 90% of your success will exist in the spiritual, 10% will actually exist in the physical and the mental. Now, the physical and all the good technical side. But I need you guys real quick to dive in October 1st, or even now, whenever you want to do it, but October 1st, because success, think of it like this, quantum leaping, all it takes is that one decision. That one decision when you say, I do, starts the marriage. That one decision when you say, I quit, is when you quit that addiction. That one decision when you say, I commit, right? When you say, I commit to these next 90 days. I commit to my goals. I commit to chairman. I commit to a 6-figure income. The moment you're able to do that, the entire universe will open itself up to you and nothing can get in your way. I'm just telling you from my own experience. The moment I committed to this industry, dude, the trades just started getting better. The people started coming, all right? My speaking levels got better. So understand, guys, you got to commit. I mean, honestly, like that is the biggest thing. And to take this quantum leap, I encourage every single one of you guys, check out that video below. It will shift your entire life. After this call, save it. And now let's get into the nitty gritty stuff. Okay, cool. So now let's talk about building offline. If you guys have your notes out, let's talk about building offline. Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about today, number one, is reverse engineer your rank. Okay, so right now we're thinking about the end of the year. For me, my goal, end of the year, December 31st, 2018, is going to be Chairman 100. Okay, sounds crazy to some people, sounds not crazy to some people. To be honest with you guys, some people it might be a little scary. For me, I think it's possible. And the only reason I think it's possible is because I think it, I feel it. I also have the emotions that align with it. And I truly believe it is possible. Last time I was on that same wavelength, I went from Plat 5,000 to Chairman 25 in like 2 months. So I believe it. So figure out what your end goal is. Let's say at the end of the year or the end of these 90 days. Because I always say 16 days can change a habit. 90 days will change your entire lifestyle, man. Right? Going from $5,000 a month to $30,000 a month, guys, shifted my entire life. Okay, so now figure out what it is that you're looking for December 31st, 2018. Figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for, whether it's an extra $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, something that's not too high, but something that's not too low, something that challenges you, right? Because it has to hit a sweet spot. But most people fail because they aim too low. Something that challenges you, but something that's not too overly aggressive. So if you told me you were at P0 right now, if I was just getting started, I said I wanted to be Chairman 100, it's an amazing goal, but it's too high. Me at P0 or P150, I could not hit Chairman 100 in 30 days. I don't believe that because I don't see it, and I've never done it before, and I had no previous experience. But I believe in 30 days as a P0, I could hit P5000 Chairman 10, right? That's, let's say if I had the confidence, I had previous experience, I could believe that, right? Let's say if you're a P600 right now, it might be a little bit smaller, P2000. As long as you can feel it and truly believe that you could attain that goal, write that shit down, okay? Now you know what it is that you're working for. So let's think of it like this real quick. Jason Brown taught me this when I was building my business, and I'm gonna teach you, and I actually stopped doing this the moment I hit Chairman 25. There was a reason why I didn't hit Chairman 50. It was because I stopped doing this. So if you guys continue to, if you do this, you will get to the next level. Reverse engineer your rank. Put that down on your piece of paper. Reverse engineer your rank. Okay, so let's say I want Platinum 2000. Let's break down Platinum 2000 because that is the golden level. I think Platinum 2000 is $2,000 a month. With trading, with additional bonuses, is like $2,300 a month. With trading, I could probably make an extra $5,000 a month. I could live off $2,000 a month. I remember looking at the comp plan and being like, $2,000 a month, that's my first goal. It's easy. It's already done. It's going to happen. 5,000 might be a challenge, but 2,000, I could easily do that. Game time. So that was my sweet spot when I was a P0. And I knew for a fact, how would I be able to go out there and hit Platinum 2000. Let's break this shit down. So Platinum 2000, right? Let's say you have a group of 75 people in your group, right? 75 people in your group, right? The leg structure is 30, 30, 15. You need 30 customers on one leg, 30 customers on your second leg, 15 customers on your third leg. So what we would do to break this down, okay, so at Platinum 2000, to make $2,000 a month residually, right? For P2K, I would need, right, 2 P1Ks and 1 P600, maybe, and 1 P600 on my other leg. So I realized now, okay, cool. So my main goal is to help 2 people hit P1000 on 2 separate legs, one 1,000 a month earner on one leg, one 1,000 a month earner on my second leg, and one $600 a month earner on my third leg. And I am now making $2,000 a month residually. That's what most people, dude, with out of college degrees are making like $500 to $600 a week, like residual, like not residually, but they have to work for that. You're making that passively. Okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I need to help 2 people hit $1,000 a month. And I need to help 1 person on my profit leg hit $600 a month. Okay. Let me reverse engineer that even more. So before I can even do that, I need to figure out who I'm going to get to $600 a month. So on my first leg, I would need, right? I would need 2 $600 a month earners. So I would need 2 P600s here on my second leg, 12, 12. So in total, let me think this, 2 P1Ks. In total, I would need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 P600s in total. So I would need 2 P1Ks, 6 P600s in total, 3 on every single leg. So I would need 3 here, 3 here, and 1 here. 1 here, actually no, is that, I'm doing math wrong, I'm sorry guys. 2 here, 2 here, and 1 here, right? And 1 additional P600 just in case, and you know, sometimes P600s will break off and stuff like that. So, but just to be safe, to overestimate, because you want to overcompensate. You don't want to just hit Platinum 2000 and then derank the next day. You want to hit P2000 and hold that residual for months, okay? You want to have that money forever, okay? And I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. 2 P1000 a month earners, 6 P600 a month earners. And then at that point in time, okay, cool. If I need 6 P600s, then I need a solid 3 times 6 is like, let's say 15, right? P150s. 15 P150s, right? If we want to get a little bit, if we want to be even go over the top, we can say 16 P150s. 16 P150s, okay? So that is not bad. 16 P150s. I could personally go out there and recruit 16 people myself and just help them get their 3. If I did that, now I'm making $2,000 a month. So my goal is now, okay, cool. Now I understand I need 16 P150s or 6 P600s or 2 P1Ks. So it's going to be a lot easier to go out there and find the P150s and the P600s in my entire business. So what I'm going to do is when I'm building this entire business, now I have to understand my list. Okay, so now let's talk about creating the list. Okay, so let's say if I'm going out there right now, I'm starting today, I'm starting October 1st, I'm figuring out who it is that I'm doing. I will personally sponsor 20 people. Okay, let's say I personally sponsor 20 people into the business next month because that's my goal. Okay, I'm telling you guys the exact game plan I'm doing. I'm personally sponsoring 20 people on my list. I have a list of 150 people, and honestly, I've decided, this is what Gary told me, this is what other people told me, fuck the list, okay? Fuck the list. If you have a list of 100 people, online or offline you're building, fuck that list, okay? Write the list and tell every single person that you're building with, put on the top of the list, the top 20 people, the top 20 most influential people you know. We're going to recruit up, then recruit down. Okay. Most people, when they write a list of 100 people, they will put like, this person might be good. This person might be good, but they'll sometimes go after the little fish. We're going to go after the sharks. Okay. We're going to go after the most influential people. Like, let's say if I bring in another Gary McSwing, I know if I bring in a Gary McSwing or a young Gary McSwing, he'll go take this business on. And if I keep building under him, Gary will overlook that entire business. Okay. So put the top 20 most influential people that you know. Okay. I would get them involved. Let's say I get 10 of those involved. And of those involved, right? It would take me maybe 30 days to figure out who is right, who is wrong, who's an ace, who I'm working with. But out of those 10, 2 will be P600s, P600 material. And 1 will be P150, P1000 material. So understand, guys, if you're hitting top influencers and you recruit 10 influential people, 2 will be P600, 1 will be P1000. And if these are not your numbers, it's okay. You might have to hit up 20 people and maybe only 5 of them enroll. Understand, guys, in the beginning, when you're an amateur, it's hard for you to build, okay? In the beginning, every single person is going to suffer a little bit, okay? Every single person's out of 10 people they talk to, only 3 will enroll. Right? Out of 10, only 3 maybe in the beginning will enroll. Once you get more experience, right? You're an amateur. People don't listen to you. People don't want to listen to you. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know the calls. You don't even know what Forex stands for, etc. Maybe only 2 will enroll, right? Now that's as an amateur, okay? Amateur. Now as a, let's say you're more experienced, out of 10, maybe only 4 more will enroll, which is not a bad number, right? Now, let's say you're becoming a little bit more professional, right? Now, out of 10, only, let's just say 6/7 enroll. And once you become better and once you become an expert, right? That's the goal that we want to do. Out of 10, let's say 9 out of 10 will enroll. Okay, so understand in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit hard, but if you're going to tackle the most influential people and you're going to rank up and you're going to go after the sharks, leverage other people. It's okay. Leverage your upline, leverage your P600, leverage your P1000. If you do not know who your closest P600 or P1000 is, that is a fucking problem, okay? Reach out to your closest P150 and P1000 because that's going to help you get to the next level, okay? All right, sounds like Jim Rohn. Yes, it is a little bit of Jim Rohn. Okay, so now let's talk about, right, creating your list, prospecting 5 people a day. That's going to help you guys build up a lot of momentum on your team. Let's say you have a team and you want to spark up a little bit of momentum. You got to go out there and spend 30% of your time personally recruiting people, okay? Going out there, personally sponsoring feeding in new blood into the business and layering leaders down. Okay, I'm going to talk about the 7 steps to building your momentum, but let me just talk about the Ivan Tapia training. Okay, so Ivan Tapia gave this exact training out in Las Vegas. And when I saw it, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so let me bring up this entire thing because I might be able to, let me see if I stop this right here. And let me see if I could share the screen. I can share a whiteboard. Perfect. Okay, sick. This is really, really cool. So Ivan, what he went over was, okay, let's say Ivan Tapia was building this business. He said he would go out there personally, 20 people. Let's say he would hit up 20 people. Out of these 20, right, only, let's say 10 enrolled, right? He went exactly over what I talked about. Only 2 will be P600 material, 1 will be P1000 material. So let's actually get rid of this. Clear all drawings. Okay, so what he broke it down was, okay, let's break this down real quick. Draw right here. I think this is actually cleaner, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Actually, we could just use our calendar. Screw that. Let's just do the calendar. See how busy I am, guys? Fuck. Okay, so let's start this week on October 8th, Monday. So what Ivan broke down was, okay, let's say I enroll my guy on Monday. I have, let's say his name is George. George, I set up a meeting. I get him introduced to the products and services. I do the why, the goals, and now I get the list. Once I get George's list, we launch George properly at his own home event, okay? We launch him at his own home event, and then we build with George. Through George, we will find, right? Because think about it, because we're only hitting people's lists and we're recruiting 12 out of every single person. So let's say this is me right here. Let me clear this entire thing because this is kind of messy. So let's say this is me right here. Sorry, guys. Brand new to this kind of thing. There we go. Okay, cool. So like, let's say this is me right here. I refer George. Okay, this is George right here. Right? If I refer George, we're going to hit his list and George is going to build, right? And we're going to hit his list and we're going to get him 7 people. Okay, I have personally recruited 7. We're going to get George his 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, once we hit his 7, we're going to figure out who George's biggest ace is, who's the hungriest person, who's the most influential. And you can do this more than once with George, but we're going to launch that person and launch his own home event. So let's say I see George, and under George, there's this other guy named Johnny. So Johnny, influencer, stud, has his list, super hungry, ready to make. He said, I'm looking at the comp and I want to be a chairman. I'm going to work with George. I'm going to launch George. No, George's friend, Johnny. So now George is watching me launch Johnny. So that way Johnny, right, can be launched properly, but not just that. George is also a mentee. He's seeing me launch him. So at that point in time, now we have, bang. Now we have my guy over here, Johnny, and we're launching Johnny. And then we create his list, right, of 100 people, 30 top influencers though. That's the one that you want to target. You want to target his top 30 most influential people. At that point in time, we create another list for him, right? Johnny, we create a list of Johnny for 7 people, right? He let's say he personally recruits 7 people. We make a list of his for over 50 to 100 names. Now we get the most influential person under Johnny. Let's say it's Joe. I personally work with Joe and we help launch Joe's market, and we do it again and do it again and do it again. And you do it in between events. Okay. So this is how we're going to build. And you do this with one leg. You do this with another leg. You could do it with another leg. And let's say all your teams are in the same area. You could do them all fucking together, dude. But you want to have separate events in different regional areas. And this is something I wanted to bring up. So let's say right here, if I'm launching George and I have his event and we recruit, let's say we build and we get Johnny enrolled. If Johnny enrolls, we want to launch Johnny as quickly as possible. We're going to launch Johnny on Tuesday. And let's say Johnny is not even in let's say I'm building my team in Danbury, Connecticut, and Johnny's in Northern Connecticut. So I'm in Southern Connecticut and Johnny's in Northern Connecticut. So now that I've enrolled Johnny, I'm trying to go to Northern Connecticut because now I will expand my business regionally. So now I'm thinking, okay, George on Monday, which is Southern Connecticut, now I'm covering ground because now I have Northern Connecticut with Johnny. So now I have Southern Connecticut and Northern Connecticut unlocked. And let's say Johnny knows somebody on another leg or on his same leg. He's a very high influencer who's from Eastern Connecticut. And this guy's name is Joe. So now I'm going to launch Joe on Wednesday. And once a week with my entire group, I'm going to have everybody come for one massive event, one big event, team event a week. On Thursday. And then I'm going to go over there and let's say on Friday, I'm going to go launch, let's say my other leg with George's other friend. Let's say her name is Mary, right? Perfect. Very, very perfect, right? Now we have Mary out there. She's launching, let's say she's from Eastern Connecticut or Western Connecticut, wherever she's from. I'm covering ground. I'm building in my regional area and I have one massive event. Now, if you guys are building online, I'm going to talk about that and essentially have the best way to build online, right? But this is how you're going to cover ground. It's a lot easier to build offline and a lot faster if you guys have the proper tools and mentorship and the speaking on point, okay? And the speaking comes, dude. The speaking comes with repetition, okay? So let's talk a little bit about kind of what else we were going to go over, right? This is Ivan Tapia's training. And what he goes over, guys, is this should take you no more than 11 to 15 hours a week, okay? An event to go do with George, you know, to drive, to do the parking, to run the event, to close all the people out. This takes 2 hours a day. So the event with George is 2 hours. Over here with Johnny is 2 hours. Joe is 2 hours. This is another 2 hours. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 hours of your time. And then if we're including the weekends, if you guys are on a 90-day run, I would encourage working at least every single day. If you want to take Sunday off, I understand some people are religious. I sometimes take a little bit of Sunday just to relax. Okay, so let's say you're working 6 days out of 7 days, 2 hours each. That's 14 hours a week. If you're a maniac, you're working 16 hours a week running events. Okay, that's all lined up. And eventually you get to the point where you delegate leaders, right? And then when George is P1600, George is running his own event. He doesn't even need you anymore. So I'm teaching you guys how to build from complete zero, complete scratch, okay? But you got to delegate it and organize it in the right type of way to take over properties. And think about this. While next week, let's say next month, right, we run this, we're building this team. Next month comes, I recruit another 7 fucking leaders, dude. And I put those 7 leaders underneath George, Johnny, Joe, and Mary. And guess what? I'm building under George now. George is running his own event. George is now a P1000. And I'm placing this other guy, let's say his name is Matt. And I place Matt underneath George. So if I place Matt under George, I'm working with Matt now. I'm launching new markets, and Matt is out in New York, which is right next to Connecticut. So now we're launching new markets directly under George. And I'm helping launch that whole market while George is what. So now I have 2 events going on in a row, right? If I have 2 events going on in a row, imagine how many people are getting exposed to the opportunity. So you can see how it grows. You can see how it compounds, the power of 3. Just imagine if you brought in, or the power of 2 brand new reps every single month. If you talk to 2 people every single day, you could bring in 2 brand new reps every single month. It's already done, dude. It's the consistency. And this is why they say consistency is the 8th wonder of the world, right? The man who knows how to use it will own the world, while the man who doesn't know how to use it will be punished by the world. Okay, this is why banks hit us with interest loans, okay? Because they understand that we don't understand the power behind consistency. The masses do not understand the power behind consistency, okay? Understand this real quick, guys. You could suck, and this is what's crazy to me, because like my mentor told me this shit. You could suck ass at network marketing. All right, you could completely suck at this. You could suck at talking to people. But bro, if you rank up, like take a bunch of action instead of aiming for the perfect moment to do this. All right, let experience be your teacher, let action be your teacher, and then let the information come and flow while you're doing it. You got to just do it, dude. The first step of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. The first, in a staircase that you do not see, it all starts with the first step of that staircase, right? That's a biblical quote. That's a Martin Luther King quote. Understand, guys, like you could suck ass at this industry, but if you ranked up twice a year, every single year for 4 years, you would end up a millionaire. And I remember my mentor telling me that. You could suck, but if you rank up twice a year, every single year for 4 years, you would be a millionaire. And when he said that, I told myself I would never quit. 3 years later, I'm on $30,000 a month. I'm aiming for my million in this industry at 22 years old. So understand that it's 100% proof and fact and evidence. I am proof that that is real. You suck at this industry, rank up twice a year, every single year for 4 years, you will be a millionaire. 100%. So write this shit down. Let's get this shit going. Prospect 2 to 5 people every single day. This is the Ivan Tapia's training. Run events every day in regional areas and build it up to one massive event a week. You want to have, okay, so let's say if I'm building in Northern Connecticut, Southern Connecticut, Eastern Connecticut, Western Connecticut, and then on Thursday or Friday, I have my one massive event. My one massive event will be in the middle of Connecticut, and that's where I invite every single teammate and every member to come out to that one massive event. If you guys do not have money for hotels, charge people $5. If you guys do not have a place to throw events, go to colleges, okay? Colleges open up their doors for free, okay? And not just that, it's crazy because if you know somebody else, make friends in colleges, man. I used to run events in college dorm rooms. I used to run events in the colleges. When I wasn't even going to school. I knew a friend that had a hookup for free rooms in colleges. Just ask questions, dude. Be somebody that is very how could I say, be somebody that is filled with resources and looking a professional problem solver and solution giver and always looking to be resourceful rather than looking at the lack of resources. Because that right there is $1 million skill set. Your perception will change this entire way that you look at the business and you look at the industry. And once you shift that perspective, your entire income will change. Just like I said, the money perspective. Is it easy to make money or is it hard to make money? You shift your perspective on how to make money and money will come into your life. Okay. I'm teaching you guys how I never have to worry about money again. Okay. I'm teaching you guys that exact same concept. So let me go back. Let me actually get a charger because this thing's going to die. All right, guys. My bad. That's what happens when you grind. Your freaking laptop dies every freaking 5 minutes. Okay, so now let's run the events in regional areas, one massive event a week, and once a month, you want to have a super Saturday. Once a month, you want to have a big, massive event where you guys are selling tickets for $5 to $10 at a hotel and you're going all in. Now, if you're brand new on this call and you do not know about that, honestly, you're going to go to your closest Plot 1000, Plot 2000. They're going to give you details on that. I gave it to every single leader. If you're brand new on this call and you're not connected to us, just message me right after this. Okay, so one massive event a month. And the power behind this is just like, let's say if I sell 200 tickets and I'm promoting that one massive event every single month, I'll have an event of 100 people, right? It's very easy to go from 0 to 100 people in this business in literally a month. Very, very easy. If you have the right 4 or 5 core key players, you guys are going to want to focus on your foundation. Once you find that foundation, those 4 or 5 key players, you can make $2,000 a month in 2, 3, 4 months. Easy. Okay? But you got to find the 2 to 4 key players, 100%. So now let's just talk about online building. Okay? Let's talk about how to build online. Okay? Because online building, honestly, I fucking love it. It's amazing because online building kind of does the hard work for you. So you understand this, guys. When I was building this entire business and I kind of wiped out my entire cold market, I went online. That way I could reach a larger mass of people. All right. Think of this quotation real quick. When I first got started, I was told it's not about how many times you tell your story, but how many people hear it. It's not about how many times you tell your story, but how many people hear it. Okay. So I could go on here on this call, right? And I could talk, tell you guys my story, tell you guys the same training, and go to every single one of you guys and give you the exact same training personally, but it would be a waste of my time. I'm mad, but I'd rather get you all on this one call and get 60 plus people, all the information and the value on one call. Because if you guys have all the value and information on one call, right, it saves me time and I'm working smarter, not harder. And not just that, right? I can do the same thing online. So let's say if I uploaded my story online and I got 1,000 views, that's 1,000 people I just exposed. Rather than me having to go out there and having to tell my story 1,000 times with one-on-ones. Okay. So like I said, online building, it takes a little bit longer, but the goal is to do both at the same time, to document your journey while you are growing. Okay. People are not looking for perfection online. They're looking for progression. Okay. So when you're building your list, every single person here has 300 people as friends on Facebook, at least 200 or 100 followers, at least on Instagram. Okay, so this is going to be your list. These are going to be people that are following what it is that you're doing, following your adventure. They're following your journey. Okay, make it attractive to them. Make them create yourself a type of personality online that distinguishes you and makes you unique. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys this thing called the 4 E's of online marketing. Hold on, let me get this sheet here. So the 4 E's. The 4 E's. And I like to use this because it's a cheat sheet. And in marketing school, what they teach you is the 4 P's of marketing, correct? So the 4 E's include number 1, engagement, number 2, experience, number 3, exclusivity, and number 4, emotion. This is how you're going to capture an audience online. And this is what I've been using for a while, right? Number 1 is engagement. Create something that people want to engage into your entire freaking group, into your profile, right? Put up polls on your Instagram. Put up things in the comment section that would force people to engage. Engage in other people's posts so that way they can engage with you. That is another thing that I like to say, right? What you give is what you attract, right? Become a higher quality person, okay? So number 2 is experience. Showcase your experience. Showcase what it is that you've been able to do in the past. Build up your experience, right? And so for me, like, I think that experience with experience comes wisdom, but you don't need to be the most experienced person in the entire world to showcase it. Isn't it crazy? I've seen some people online brand themselves even better than some chairman 10s or chairman 25s in the company. And it's just because, and they're showcasing more experience and they get more personal recruits. I have some people, and I'll actually be honest, brutally honest on here. I don't know if Kai is actually on this call. I saw Kai personally recruit like 30, 50 people, and he's personally recruiting more people online than I see another chairman in the company doing, which is absolutely insane to me. So it's because of him showcasing, right, his engagement and his experience. And the next E is exclusivity, right? So creating something that makes your brand unique, that makes your group, or let's say whatever it is that you're building up as your unique brand, completely different than everybody else. I think that's like a big important part. And the last and final part is emotion. So it's like capturing people with emotion is very important. Think of it like this with sales. 80% of all closes are all done through the emotional aspect, and only 20% are actually done through the logical aspect, okay? You want to build an emotional thing with your audience, right? Understand this. Man, my dog is really wet. But understand this, right? Facts tell, stories sell, right? Is your why emotional? You know, share your why. Is your story emotional? Sell, you know, share that, you know, share some sort of emotion when you're building with people. You know, you capture people with the emotions that you have in a day. Nobody loves a dull person, okay? So that's one thing that I would do. Build your online list and engineer your rank based on locations. So when I started building online, what happened with me was I started having different people hitting me up from all over the world. One group from, let's say, we would say hypothetically Seattle, another group from Dallas, another group from Canada, another group from Europe, another group from Australia, another group from Asia, Africa, etc. So what I would do is I would kind of shift your entire structure to be the exact same way. So let's say if I were to structure my business, let's go back to this like poll real quick, right? If we were to go back to the poll, this thing right here, right? Let's clear this out, clear all my drawings. Let's say in one business, I put, this is only if you're going all in, guys. I wouldn't recommend this if you're not going all in. In one section, let's say this is me right here, I would have, let's say, a Seattle team here, my international European team here, and my, let's say, African team here. And anytime that I enrolled anybody from Africa, I would place them on this leg because it matched the demographic. If anybody I had in the US or near the Seattle area, I would place here. And let's say I go out there and personally sponsor somebody else from New York, I would place them here. So now if I refer another person in my business and he's also from New York, I'm going to place him over here. I'm going to keep the same demographics in the same way and also figure out who works better with who. Let's say if I recruit somebody who has a personality type A, I would keep personality types A's with type A's. Like, let's say if somebody's just like demographics is a thing, dude. Let's say if somebody has like more of like a Hispanic background, then I would place them with like, or like speaks Spanish. I would place them with someone that speaks Spanish, right? If I had somebody that had more of a sports background, came from football, I would place them with somebody that played football in the past, right? Or match that demographic, match their style. You know people, you have friends that like kind of work with other friends or like remind you of other friends. I would match them together because I know for a fact that they would work together. Fine. So that's how I would build that entire structure up. And also when you're building online, guys, right? We always talk about, I think Chris mentioned, right? The 3 C's, right? Crazy compliment confidence. Now, compliment, crazy confidence. I like to say compliment, comment, compliment, connect, crazy confidence. So what you're going to do is, just to break it down, it's the 3 C's. The 3 C's in this industry, right? The compliment, crazy confidence. You compliment on somebody's page when you're commenting, right? And then you connect with them by messaging them, okay? While complimenting their page, telling them how you like their stuff, go over what it is that they do, connect with them for a little bit, talk about how crazy it is that they're building up their content and what they've been able to do in the past, right? After you compliment them, right, how crazy it is that they've been able to do what it is that they do, and that they would absolutely kill it in what it is that you do. Then they're going to ask you the question of what it is that you do, and then you let them know in confidence. You shoot them the invite, right? Compliment, crazy confidence. And then last, follow up, right? Online, follow-up game is key. Okay, you have to follow up because people are reaching out from you from all over the world, man, right? In my follow-up game, like most sales, especially with online, it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 follow-ups sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But every single time you guys, your social media does the closing for you. Every single time you guys post something motivational, you show your daily habits, your daily routines. Every time you're showcasing to somebody that you're working, somebody that you're trading, right? What that's doing is that's following up with people because it's increasing your level of familiarity. Subconsciously, guys, every single time you post, subconsciously, every single time you're posting up things about trading, other people are seeing that and it's re-exposing them to the opportunity. Okay, so you want to make sure you do that. That's the 3 C's in this entire industry when you're building online. And do the same thing, guys. Exactly what I decided to do, or what I did building here in this aspect. Okay, one day you're working with this leader, another day you're working with this leader, another day you're working with this leader. Offline, you're going to do the same thing except online with webinars. That's how we're going to build. And that's how we're going to build this entire business into, like I said, the thousands. I can confidently say you guys can hit Chairman 25 easily off of just doing this. This information right here will take you guys to $30,000 a month, okay? It will easily take you to $30,000 a month if you apply it, okay? Why I'm saying that is because I'm 100% proof and evidence that it's possible. It's not going to take you to $100,000 a month. I'm not there yet, right? But I can guarantee you it's going to take you to $30,000 a month. This is the game plan. This is what it was that I was doing, right? This is from what I was doing from the get-go. So I guarantee you that this will help you, especially so much in the long term, guys. So I appreciate, obviously every single one of you guys for hopping on this call today. Like I said, most people around this time would be partying, smoking, drinking, or doing what most people are doing. But obviously you're on here. You wanted to learn some more information. You wanted to learn basically how to build up your entire business. So I appreciate every single one of you guys, for being on here tonight. And if you got value, please go back on my last Instagram post and comment a fire emoji. I absolutely love every single one of you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And honestly, let's just crush it, man. October 1st, that's when everything is starting. We have a call with Alex Morton, Mr. Alex Morton himself. Obviously an 8-figure earner in the industry, has made tens of millions of dollars. We have a call with him October 1st. Do not miss that webinar, right? Understand that we're going to be launching this entire business and I'm going full force. My goal is to pop another 8 6-figure earners within my entire group. And I appreciate every single one of you guys, right? We're going to crush it today and everything that we do from here on out. So let's crush it. I'll talk to you guys soon and I appreciate every single one of y'all. Peace.